Okay, so hey guys, how has it been? I know it's been long, but I'm back. I was away on some few businesses, but yeah, I've just been in the trades a little bit, seeing some opportunities here and there, but not really active in the channel and everything. But this time, I just want to see how I can continue to be consistent with my posts and everything. So I just want to thank all of you for those that always check on this channel and on my videos every time they're released. I just want to give a very big shout out to everyone, especially for those that have subscribed and everything. If you've not, please don't forget to do so, and yeah, like, share, and all and everything uh, of the sort. So I just want to jump onto the analysis. I'm going to look at the analysis of 31st of March to Friday, the 4th of April, and then we do analysis, focus of 7th of April to 11th of April. That is next week, 2025, right? Okay, so let's begin with the Euro USD. Okay, so whatever you're seeing here from the black structure lines, that's the weekly. That's the weekly structure. So it broke structure right here for me, and now I'm playing between this high and this low. So because we're in the daily, this is what I'm seeing now from the daily, that this high was broken with these very strong bullish candles, and we had a breakout structure here. So I was playing between this high and this low before the break, and yeah, I was also been checking out this section and how it has been faring until it has come to that point. um uh, what I was anticipating is I wanted to see some reaction from this POI, okay? But I also kept at the back of my mind that this also could be a little bit significant and price would come and react from that point. So let's jump over now to 4 hour. I'll try and move a little bit quick, so kindly be sure to catch up and stay with me. So yeah, so I think I'll start from here. From 4 hour, we can see that we had a very good triangle formation here. That means after this, before this mitigation, you can see very well that price created a lower low and lower high. Okay, so after the lower low, after this lower low, lower high was created here in this supply area, as you can see from this supply candle, and then it also formed a triangle, as you can see from I'm sure for now, by now you should know that I'm very well interested in these triangles. Sorry, there's a construction going on the other side of the window, so hope you'll bear with me as I can't do this recording over and over again. So let's just hope the noise will tone down in less time. So after the triangle, you can see that it broke through right here. Then we continue to the downside. Then 4 hour was later on broken with this breakout structure to the lower low again, and then we actually pulled back to this supply. I was expecting price to come to here, but it didn't do that. So what it did, it came down to this lower low. So after this lower low, this was now what pushed price up to break the high of this 4 hour, and then came and built liquidity around here before it came and mitigated the anticipated um, supply that I was expecting price to come to. So after that, now we had a daily chalk, we had a 4 hour chalk, and all that juicy part and the drama that happened during this time. Price went down, came down, took out this liquidity. This liquidity came down to this supply for our supply, sorry, demand. And as you can see, price then shot up, took out liquidity at some point here. But remember, after this change of character on the 4 hour, price had not mitigated to this supply, because what we always expect is this. that when price comes down, goes up, goes down, goes up, when the change of character is broken like that, that is that low, then we expect price to at least touch the supply area or demand area. But for this case, the supply, we expect that to happen, and then we go to the downside. So that was not the case. So what happened is that I'll try and remove this. So what happened is that after the change of character right here, we see that price went down like that. Okay, created a little bit of liquidity and some few lows here on some few lows, and then we went straight through to that part, which I think there was a very huge gap here. This I think was the beginning of some day. Yeah, it looks like it was Friday. I think this was New York upon close of New York session. Yeah. So yeah, so after that, price came down to this demand area and then came up, took out liquidity. So this is what happened. And then if you look very closely, there was another pullback here, which that pullback when price went down like that, it created that change of character line. This now what we're talking about. This is what I'm talking. This is what I'm talking about. That after the change of character, we expect somewhat of a pullback like this, and then continue to the downside, which I was expecting here, but that didn't happen. So also this that happens around here, where price comes back but doesn't touch the anticipated supply. For this case, the supply. That means that they're creating liquidity. So they're creating liquidity here and here and also here. So when they went down like that, there was some 4 hour, I think 1 hour 15 minute POI right here, because after this bullish change of character, we see an uptrend like that. Okay, up to now with the mitigation of this supply. So you see how they're trying to play tricks with you. Okay, they're trying to play tricks with you, because after this change of character, we expected that return, but it didn't happen. So when price was doing all the drama here, confusing you on when it will come to that point, that was just confusion, but also to trick you and pull you into the site of liquidity and come and take you out at this point. So that's when now price started ranging again around this demand area, and then we had that uh, what do you call it, the change of character, bullish change of character, then a sudden pullback to this demand area, and then we pull to the upside. So I want to skip all that I've just explained about. For those that are doing or have done SMC, then I'm sure you'll be understanding most of the things that I'm talking about. But right now, I just want to talk about where the price is. Okay, I want to discuss about where the price is. So for me, after this break of structure, price went down, then came back, broke the upside, then broke the downside. So when it was breaking the downside, I noticed that there was also a trend line which I drew on it. Okay, and after this break, let me just show you. After this break, it also caused a change of character, though not with the candle close above, but there was a break of structure. Sorry, the change of character. Then now the return to this demand, okay, is what I felt would fuel now the price to the upside. But when price now wanted to come up, it started coming down. It actually created a change of character for the bearish, but I was still confident about this move to the upside, because this was a trend line and it had been broken here. So this was just liquidity. Okay, this was just buy side liquidity. So after that, price came down to this demand, and at this demand now is when we see that price went to the upside. So I want to discuss some few trades that I took so that I don't take that much time, and also discuss about the focus of coming next week. So let me try and zoom. Okay, yeah. So when when price there was a 4 hour, yeah, this 4 hour. So let me just extend it to this point so that you can see. This the 4 hour that price mitigated to. Remember when I told you the mitigation to that supply, sorry, supply, we can see that price actually also changed the trend. Okay, and for this matter, I just want to give you this tip. In every higher time frame change of character, whether bullish or bearish, it is a break of structure on the lower time frame. I repeat, a change of character in the higher time frame is a break of structure in the lower time frame. So for this case, this was the 4-hour change of character, the dotted line, and then this was the high of the swing structure of the 15-minute. So when price came down right like that, say from here, it came and broke the structure, but not to the candle close. But yeah, I think we can say the candle close from there. So after it ranged like that, we can see it actually now broke it officially with the candle close as seen above and breaking this structure. So many a times when you see a change of character in the higher time frame, you can actually know or sense that that was just a bullish, sorry, that was a break of structure on the higher time frame. So yeah, so price came down. I noticed that it came down to this demand area. I wanted to check a trade here, but I wasn't very sure because I was expecting, as much as I saw this change of character, you can see it very clearly. But after I saw it, I hope you can see it. After it broke to the upside, I was expecting this kind of return and then go to the upside, but that wasn't the case. So I'll remove that so that I continue to explain. So after that, I was now playing between this high and this low. And then now when price came down, I noticed that we had this change of character. So coming down to here, all this now I'm only analyzing. I'm not taking any trades because I am waiting for the right place, the right position, and the right time. Okay. So after coming to this demand, we can see very well that price went up, and then it went up to take out this liquidity. So notice this, after taking out this liquidity twice, okay, we had somewhat of a change of character. If we measure these two candles, we'll definitely see that one was higher than the other one. So this one for me was a change of character. So before it was a change of character, you can see price ranged around here and then came down. So when it came down, I took this trade. As you can see, I took this trade. So I was expecting the bounce back to this demand and then continue to the downside, but actually it took me out because my stop loss was just above this structure. But if I had put it, placed it maybe somewhere around here, then I would have had, but I would not have had a very good risk to reward ratio. Okay, so for this case, I would have placed it just above whatever that hand came to, but I didn't know because this, I think, was the opening of the London session, so it was really volatile, and it took me out. So as much as it did take me out, I was still right that price would go down, and yeah, still I was confident to pat myself at the back and say, you know what, next time you'll get them. So after coming down right now, as we see, we notice that we have the flow to the downside, breaking the structure. As you can see also, the way it broke this structure, because we had broken the structure to the upside, so we were playing between this high and yeah, this low. So when price now came and broke this low, notice one thing: the same way this was a 4-hour change of character is the same way this also was a 4-hour change of character to the downside, or a bearish change of character. So this 4-hour change of character is a break of structure on the 15-minute. That is what I was trying to say. So mitigated this demand, then went down. So now when it started ranging, actually it left some void of, it left some imbalance after this candle where I drew my demand. It started ranging around here, yeah, and I knew I knew that this is just building of liquidity. Okay, so I marked that as my buy side liquidity, and then I didn't mark this as my sell side liquidity, but I was expecting price to to come and run them down. So I think this was around Frankfurt and London Open looming. So when price came down to this demand area, that's when now I expected now price to come to this point and then now go to the downside, and probably take down this low that was created. So after this break of structure, I was playing between this, I was trading between this high and this low, but this one now gave me more um, it gave him more confidence that price will still go lower than that. And another confluence was because of the supply. Remember, I told you about this change of character that I was expecting price to come down to. So when price came up to here, I was confident enough to expect price to come and touch this this demand area, which is nested inside the 4-hour demand. Okay, so yes, it didn't touch, but if we look at the trade, we look at it and I see that I got a 4.5 R positive. Okay, sorry, profit. Okay, so when price now was ranging around this side, like I say always, I love triangles, so I noticed that was a triangle, and then it was broken automatically, and also did the return, and then had a very sublime trade. So I want to talk about this trade, but we'll have to go to 5 minutes to check it out and talk about it. So let me remove this on the way and put everything in order. Yeah, so I think I posted this on my group. Yeah, so when price now was coming all the way down like that, I noticed that we had this very huge demand right here, down here. So I noticed that when price was touching that demand several times, then there was liquidity being built. Okay, so what I did is when price came down like that, this is when now I think Frankfurt was opening. Yeah, Frankfurt was opening, so I put a buy stop order here. Buy stop meaning that when price comes, it will tag me in, put me in the trade, and anticipating that price will go up, as you can see. So with that buy stop order, price tagged me in, came back to this demand area, and my stop loss was behind. This time my stop loss was a little bit further, and yeah, it didn't touch me, or rather took me out, and then it went up, caused a change of character of the 15-minute, then came down to this demand area of the 5-minute, and then shot to the upside. So all this is just to explain to you how to look at the market and how to time these trades, because if you look at this trade, this was on Tuesday. Okay, this was on Tuesday and this was on Wednesday. So this was on Tuesday around morning hours, that is London Open, and also this London Open. So that means also in my psychology and my journals, I need to write and tell myself always that I perform very well during the London sessions. Okay, so now I want us to talk about the focus of next week. uh, this now is a 15-minute. As you can see, we had a break of structure here, so I'm playing between this low and this high, and I want us now to mark those levels that we are going to expect price to come to. So let's start with this here. After this change of character, I'll start off with this huge demand. Okay, mark it like that, and put it at 15-minute POI, and then now continue with this uptrend to see which other areas I need to also stay focused on. So I have this one because, as you can see, price danced around here, and I was expecting this return to come and touch this demand and then go up, but it left it unattended or unmitigated. So yeah, price went to the upside. So as you can see, now we had this demand mitigated. Let me take the whole range for this case, and then I had this demand which I can mark, and with the benefit of hindsight, I can pull it on to the right to show that it has been mitigated, so I have no business with it. Also this yeah, right there. And also I could mark this one, but as you can see, price came and shot through, so that will not be that significant for me. What is next is I'm going to draw in my change of character, because as you can see, this uptrend was later on broken to the downside, and then I'm going to start marking my internal structure. Internal structure meaning whatever that we've been seeing with the higher highs and higher lows, and vice versa. Now we're looking at it inside also the structure of the structure. So that's the internal structure of the main structure. So this will be my internal IBOS, that is internal breakout structure. So another IBOS right here. So I will also assume that this one was that also can be an IBOS, but for this case I will not mark the highs because they had been broken. So what I'll do, I'll only look at the last high before that break. Okay, so I'll start off with this one. Okay, now because now we've simplified all this, we will come and look at this part. Okay, this part, because if we check very clearly, we can see that within this buy to sell range marking, we can see very well that price was mitigated inside that supply area, and also I think this one also mitigated the whole range like that. So you see, we're just moving very closely so that we can understand where we're expecting price to come to. So yeah, also this, I'll take the whole range. Okay, and then I think this will be the last one. Okay, as much as the whole range has been mitigated, as you can see, price touched here, it touched it like twice, and it's coming in for the third time like that. But this is now where I'll be expecting price to make some reaction and maybe decide on which side it's going to go. And also this range, I love to take it, because if you've done SMC, then you'll understand this is a flip zone. Actually, it has not been touched, but I'll just mark it for the sake of awareness. Okay, and yeah, I think I'll leave it at that. And what I'll be expecting is I'll be expecting price to at least come here. Okay, and then mitigate it, continue to the downside because of this trend of the lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So I'm expecting a lower high around here, and then another lower low, so possibly another lower high, and then another lower low, because after this change of character, maybe price is trying to target that section. So that is how I'll be looking at Euro USD. In terms of swing forecast, it's still going to be a bit tricky from the swing forecast, because as much as this is a huge demand is still visible, but I'm expecting price to also come down here and maybe change direction. But for now, what we are seeing is this high was broken, so typically we're just on an uptrend. So maybe it will come, take some break around here or here, and then continue to the upside. So yeah, so for the swing traders, maybe buying the Euro USD can be a little bit onto your advantage because of the way this high was taken out. So I don't want to speak much about this, though I've taken so much time. I just want to say that please be very careful with the news, because whatever Trump did with the tariff news, I think on 2nd of April, that means that things are about to change. So please do research on that kind of tariff news, so that you can understand and get a full picture of what is really going on. Because with the fundamentals also, it will help you to understand the economy and help you see on how the economical news really correlate with the charts, and put them together and work something out and get some good trades out of it, take the advantage and all that. So for this time, I just want to say that we're still on a downtrend for now in the internal structure of the 4-hour, but yeah, overall bias for me is the upside. So stay tuned. Let's go to GBP USD and see what we have in store. Okay, so GBP USD, as you can see from the daily, we had this break of structure, but from the weekly standpoint, you can see we're playing between this low and that high, and so we were on a downtrend until we broke that structure to the high. So we could be changing direction to the upside. And also, just like the Euro USD, we saw that we had this very volatile up move to the upside, but according to GBPUSD, we could be changing direction, because if you check very closely, this was the last low, and looks like we've had our respectable change of character. So I'm going to shift this previous change of character to here, and leave it at that. But I will expect a candle close below, so that yeah, I validate it fully. But for now, because of that slight weak break, we can just say that this now is our main focus of the GBPUSD daily's demand, where I'll be expecting now to sell off from if price chooses to go to the downside. So let me just change this real quick and then go to the 4-hour. Okay, and if it's going to sell, then I'm going to expect it to come to this point. So what I'll do is I will draw my forecast like that, and then go to the downside, and then change visibility to days. I think 4-hour, I can just put it on 4 only. Yeah, so I think that's okay. So 4-hour. Okay, 4 hours a little bit dramatic, but just like Euro USD, we also could be seeing some sales going on. Okay, I think this was all because of the US tariff, whatever Trump talked about on the 2nd of April. So I'll remove this supply, because you can see that nothing happened there. Price just shot through. We can see that we had a break of structure to the upside. Break of structure to the upside, but just a second. Okay. So break of structure to the upside, and then we have had that daily change of character, and also we could be seeing a break of structure to the downside on the 4-hour, but it has not closed with the candle below, so I cannot validate that for now. So for me right now, I'll be playing between this high and this low. Okay, although this supply looks to be mitigated coming in next week. Aside from that, looking at the supplies that I'll be expecting price to come back to, I see that we have this supply, okay, for our POI, and then I'll take this range, this whole range supply, and expect our supplies to come to there. Like I said, this was a anticipated move on the daily, so as you can see, it's kind of correlating with the what do you call it, kind of correlating with the 4-hour. So change of character to the upside, but price has broke below this low, so I'm going to shift my change of character to the downside. So now it's a bearish change of character with a candle close below, so that means that price could be continuing to the downside. Also, for now, I feel because we've taken so much of liquidity, sell side liquidity around here, we can also say that price wants to now start pulling back on the 4-hour before continuing to the downside. So this now will be my anticipation, either price comes to here or price comes to here, but either way, these two supplies, I will be expecting them to hold and then continue to the downside, maybe mitigate here or maybe get past through it. So that is how I'll be looking at it from 4-hour. 15 minutes. Now this is where we're going to spend a little bit of some time, because I wasn't there since the 2nd of April again. After taking those 2 trades, I was very much contented, and training hard to fight my psychology and also my risk management and everything, trading rules and plans. Yeah, so I will now extend this 15-minute breakout structure that was just taken out right there, and then yes, come in. Yes, so that's my high, So that's my high. And for these other pullbacks, we can see very well that price didn't actually make that deep of a pullback like this one. So all this to me is just one move to the upside. So let's draw through all that and skip to here, and then come up to the upside, and then this was the low that we left behind and was broken. Okay, so as you can see, the whole range that was there also had been taken away, rather taken out. And so we'll move this IBOS now to the recent one, okay, to the most recent one, that is down here. So after this break of structure, we expect the pullback to happen, but as you can see, price still went to the downside, lower and lower. So all this now I will have to delete them. So I'll start off with this one, and this one, and this one, this one. I think I'll leave this one out. This one, yeah, this one. Where's Papa? I'm on phone. What is it?
Mommy want to use glasses.
There. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so I'll put this IBOS right there, and then I put this high IBOS right there. So right now I'll be expecting to actually no. So I think that this IBOS was not taken out, and so this now still is my high, and then expecting price to come down to here. Let me just look at it really closely and see what is happening. This was my last high. This is my last high of the IBOS, and then yeah, and then got broken around here. Okay, so yeah, so now I'm playing between this high and this low, but if this candle doesn't close below, then I'll just have to move it to here like that. Okay, so if I'm going to concentrate on either side of those supplies which I would be expecting price to like continue selling, then I'll say, actually this looks a little bit complicating, but I'll just get past through it. That's the nature of trading. So pam pam pam, this is 15 minutes. Yeah, 15 minutes. And then we have this supply that was mitigated right there, and now we have this supply. Okay, so this is the latest supply that I'll be looking price to come to and maybe react from there, but I'm still not sure because we are still on a limbo with this pair and in this time frame. So what I can just say is, as much as it's all confusing in the lower time frame, we can just leave it at that and look at the higher picture formation. Okay, the higher picture, the higher time frame picture anticipation and all that. So that is what I'll be expecting. For now, I cannot tell of the structure that I have and the expectation that I have on GBPUSD, especially on the 15-minute, but 4 hours seems very clear to me that we could be pulling back a little bit before price continues to the downside. So I think that will be all for GBPUSD. I'd love now to go to the yen pairs, yeah, check on them a little bit and look at some few trades. So stay tuned and let's do this. Okay, so yen pairs, we are starting off with the pound yen. Okay, so judging from the daily, I think I won't go much on the lower time frames, so let's just maintain the high time frames and look at our forecasts. Okay, so we have this high that got broken right there, and then we broke it to the downside like that. So price now has been ranging around this area. Okay, but still for me, after this break, I'm expecting price to still come to the upside. I don't know about this Trump thing and all the tariff stuff, but I feel we could be pulling back and just continue with our journey the way it was. But yeah, we just wait and see, because after this range, I expected that after the break right there, okay, after the break right there, okay, just a second, after the break like that, price went up, okay, price went up, caused a change of character here, okay, right there, and then it came to the extreme supply and then it shot down. So it's this demand that I was expecting price to continue to the upside, but as you can see, yeah, Trump did this thing and price shot to the downside. So okay, I won't say that's a bad thing, but it was really unexpected. So we still have our daily change of character, so we're expecting that with this it's just a return and then we continue to the upside. So let's go to 4 hour and check on what we could expect. Okay, so from the 4 hour we can see that we were following price very keenly, but I was expecting to at least bounce off from this demand, and yeah, he didn't do so. So what happens now is we'll have to re-strategize, rinse everything and just repeat again in marking all our areas of interest and see what we can capitalize or get out of that. For now, what I'll be expecting from GBP USD, because of all these weeks, we could be seeing some little bit of pullback. So if we're going to pull back from here, then I'll be expecting price to at least come to this supply area, yeah, create this another line of liquidity together with these others, and then come and take them out. After taking them out, then I'll be expecting price to go to the upside. So that is how I look at the GBP JPY, and also because of that, I also mark this as my sell side liquidity of the higher time frame. So I'll be expecting price to at least come and take those guys out. So for now, we can see that this supply has been taken out and it has mitigated deeper into this first supply after the change of character. So maybe that could hold and then continue to the upside, because you can see very well that after this high was taken, we were expecting, everything was aligned for me, by the way, that I was expecting after that, the break of that, then price will change direction and go to the upside. Also, we need to keep in mind that from the daily, we see that there's this how is that? I think there's this demand that has not been touched, so maybe they could be coming to touch there and then continue to the upside. So let's just go back to 4 hour and validate that. Yeah, right here. Okay, so yeah, that's what I'll be expecting, at least price to come to touch that daily and also some 4 hour demands around here. I don't want to draw them up because I'll take more time, but you get the sense that I'm trying to make here. So 15 minutes, I don't want to spend much time here, but I want to concentrate on the market structure, although I want to talk about this trade right here. Okay, so when price broke to the upside, I noticed that we were coming down, and let me try and see. I think this happened the same as Euro USD. Okay, that means that after the change of character, I was expecting price to come up and mitigate some few supply areas, but it didn't do so. So when it was still coming down and broke this supply demand, actually it ranged a little bit. Okay, then after this down move, I noticed that we had this up move and then down move, and then this return to this supply is what gave me the idea of we could be continuing to sell. And again, I want to repeat this was a triangle, okay, and I was expecting that if price is not going to come here, then maybe it's coming down to mitigate some areas of demand huku chini or down there, and then yeah, touch this supply and then continue to push the price down. Okay, so that is number one. And number two, when price now came down lower, it caused a change of character, and after that change of character, you can see very well that price range and didn't come to this extreme. So you see, when it was trying to ranging, or playing around this floating area, if I can call it, you can see very well now that's when it did its mitigation to the upside to mitigate the supply. And now from that point, that's when we saw this huge move now that wanted to take these guys out and also these guys out and come and mitigate this demand. And when it came to mitigate that demand, we can see very clearly, I think this was in the 5 minutes. This was the 5 minutes. So let's jump there so I can explain this trade real quick and call it a day for this pair. That right here. Okay. So 5 minutes. What did we see? We saw the change of character, but before this change of character, what happened is when price went up like that and came down to mitigate this demand that we talked about, I put in my buy stop again. For me, I feel buy stop are very much safer to take them or to place them, because if price, let's say you put your buy stop there and then this price just continues to the downside without tagging you, then that means that you'll be safe and that price will not be tagged, so you will not have any trade, and that will only mean that you don't have any loss. So this now tagged me in, brought me back to this kind of extreme, and then caused the actual change of character, which after the cause of that, we range a little bit like that and then continue now to the downside to come and mitigate this demand, and that is what fueled my trade to the upside. So that was another profit, although I wasn't that much confident, I wasn't that much confident of price going to the upside, so I put in my trailing stop loss right there, okay, which price came down and took me out. I also drew this demand area, which I didn't think it would come, react from it and then continue to the upside according to the way price did. So I would have, if I would have left my trade to run, then I would still be at profit and grabbed that 3.1R. But yeah, despite all that, I was still in profit. I took some partials and then trailed my stop loss to here, and still was a good day, as much as it wasn't the anticipated profit that I was expecting. So also this would have taken a little bit of time. I think this would have been Wednesday, London Open, all the way to Thursday. Wow. Also London Open, so that would have taken a whole day to do that. Sorry, a whole 24 hours to do that, but for this case it only ended here when the trailing stop loss was taken out. So let's now jump to the structure that we want to draw. For me, I'd love to say that this was the breakout structure. Thank you. And the benefit of hindsight, you can see that this was the high. So all this ran down, I feel, to me it wasn't that significant, but I'll be okay to risk this fact that this was a deeper pullback right here. So I'll put this one here as my last breakout structure to the downside. So like that, and then like that to the upside. Okay, so this now will be my structure. We're playing between that low and this high. So where price is right now is it has mitigated this area of demand. Okay, this one has also been mitigated. So this is the only thing that I'll be expecting to see price reacting from, and then continue to the upside because it has changed direction. Why has it changed direction? Because of this 4-hour POI that has been mitigated, the brown one, and then this gray one that could possibly, price could possibly be ready to come and take it out. So that is all for GBP JPY. I'd love now to go to Euro JPY and see what happens. So for now here, I'll just say that maybe we could do this, continue to the downside, but I don't see any interest of taking any trade around here. So unless now I see a break to the upside and a close of candle above this high, okay, then I'll be looking for any areas of interest around here, and then continue to the upside. So trading is just two-way kind of cutting blade, and we need to be ready for anything. Okay, yeah, so that will be all for GJ. Let's go now to EJPY, Euro JPY. Starting off from the daily, this is where now I love these pairs, whereby the Euro USD, GBP USD, and AUD USD correlate the same way as AJ, EJ, and GJ. I hope you understand what I just said. Okay, so also on Euro JPY, we can see very clearly that price had been ranging, but I have been expecting this move to still continue, or rather happen. So I'm also still confident that we are still going to make that thing happen. So I'll extend this demand to my right, only to show me that yes, it was mitigated deeper, but it didn't break through. So we are still okay up to that point. So this is the daily. I'm still expecting, I reiterate that I'm still expecting the price to still go to the upside, but I think on Monday I won't trade. That is just in my rules, so I'll just let it play out, and then on Tuesday we'll see what will happen. For here, I just want to explain this, that when price went up, let me just try and draw that through. This was a very nice swing trade, by the way. Price went up like that, did a pullback like that, pullback with this candle like that, played around a little bit, then caused a change of character. Now this is what I was talking about. After the change of character, this is what I was expecting, which it happened on a higher time frame, and I noticed it, and I took it from the lower time frame, I think 15 minutes. It was a very good trade. It was a very, very good trade, and as much as it's a 3R, but it was a very good profit. So up to there, okay, I think this took Thursday, yeah, to Wednesday the next week, yeah, Thursday 14th November, 22nd, yeah, I think a whole week, yes, whole week, took a whole week to play out, and I can say it's not bad. It's just that swing trading, I can't do all that much of waiting. Anywho, so yeah, I'm expecting price to bounce out of this demand, and then continue to the upside. So for our, I'm still thinking of being a swing trader anyway. So for our, what do we have for our? We had a change of character right there. Price returned, okay, to this supply. The only tricky thing is this supply now, so this demand. I am really not sure if price is going to come to there, because like I said on the daily, I'm expecting this one to play out and continue to the upside. So right now we have broken this low, but not with a candle close below, but still we just want to see how it will turn out to be. As you can see, like I said it from the first start of the video, that this was the change of character of the daily, and yeah, it's the break of structure on the 4-hour. Okay, I hope you get the sense now. Okay, so I will be marking all these now are liquidity points for me, but I'll remove them. This one was taken out, so I will only be left with this one. Okay, signal that in any candle above that was touching this line, then that was liquidity. So possibly we could be expecting price to come off this supply and then continue to the downside. So like that, then like that. Another thing, we have this imbalance. So for me, I'm expecting at least this imbalance also to be taken out, sorry, to be mitigated in line with taking out liquidity points of these lows. Okay, so that is how I'll be looking at it. From the 15 minute, I won't say much, but I'll just mark my structures. So I've had a breakout structure. I don't think I'll mark this as my high, though it's kind of deep, but let me just be very courteous or courteous, whatever that word is about, was pronounced, depending on the school that you went to. So that's my low. Okay, and then from that low, I can say that I have this as my change of character. Okay, like that. So after this change of character, we were expecting some pullback. If I was expecting some pullback, then that pullback would have come to here, to this demand, but again, price didn't come there. Okay, so now this is where things get saucy. Okay, now we've had this price action taking out, and as you can see with this pullback candle, which was the last low, price mitigated it, I think several times, and then this is another demand that we get. So technically, until price and yeah, I think I'll leave it at that. I don't think this can bring some reaction, but maybe. So possibly if we try to go to the upside, then I'll be expecting the move inside this one and then continue down, but also want to see how this demand reacts. I'm very much sure I'm going to focus on this one, actually from the 4 hour in the daily. So actually the 4 hour, that's where my bias really stands, that we could also continue to sell. Okay, so this whole JPY, how to JPY, and then finish off with USDT. Okay, so Aussie JPY. Judging from the daily, you can see we had a breakout structure. If only this candle closes and it closes below, then we could be signaling that we're still going to the downside. Also with the Euro JPY, remember I told you that we were looking at some areas of supply up here on the higher time frame, then maybe anticipate the push to the downside. Now we need to shift our focus and be or have an open mind about everything, because if you look at Aussie JPY, we see that it has broken structure, and that range that was happening on the daily of these three pairs, the AU, the AJ, EJ, and GJ, then we can see from AJ it has broken structure and it's going down. So also EJ could follow suit as the AJ and also GJ. Okay, but we cannot assume that for now. We just continue trading and looking at the areas of interest. So what you can see from here is we've had a very good downtrend, and right now also it has proved that it will be pushing lower. So we have, for me, I have this supply that I'd want price to come to. I'll put that as a DPOI. So I'll expect that price to come to there and maybe continue to the downside of some sort. But also we'll have to see how price reacted off from this daily sub demand, also from this one here, and I want to see that on the lower time frames, and convince myself further that that is also a confluence. So let's go to 4 hour. So 4 hour, we don't have the daily, but we understand that we don't have the daily PI, but we understand that it yeah, it mitigated. So 4 hour, very clean. We can see we had a lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, but this lower low was drawn here because this was just a liquidity pool which was taken out, Okay, so we went up, broke to the upside. This was now the conviction part that we were going to continue buying, but as you can see, with the benefit of hindsight, price still went to the downside. So let's look at this structure around here. So this I marked saying this POI will be my mark if price gets here. So that is what happened actually. It came, did change of character, returned to here. I wasn't around this at this time, so I didn't see this trade, but I noticed next time that I came to my charts, I noticed this area that was taken out of liquidity, and for me, I'll be very honest, I hesitated and I thought that maybe it was not the right area for me to take the trade. So yeah, so price went up. Okay, did a change of character. Yes, you would have expected a pullback to here and then continue to the upside, but reasons why I didn't trade it is because of this. I noticed that it wasn't very clear for me, so I just let it go. Okay, came and created a double bottom. Uh, like I always say, double bottom, double tops, those are always liquidity. Like here, okay, that's liquidity because if you check very clearly, price came down, okay, created that double top, and then came and took those guys out. So you double top and double bottom traders, I don't know what you think. So yeah, so came up, made pull back to that point and then continue to the downside. Now after continuing to the downside, we see that price came very correctively, but with this week, this was news. I think this was some news, not really Trump's news, but yeah, this was some news. This was April. Yeah, this was some. Yeah, this was the Trump. This was the Trump news. Yes. So yeah, so came, took them out, and then continued to the downside. So what will I be expecting? This that I was expecting. Yes, it would have been real, but yeah, Trump did this thing, and RIP to everyone that lost their accounts anyway. So, but stay away from news. So right now I'll be expecting at least to see some reaction off of this supply. Okay, this is a 4 hour. And then this supply, this 4 hour. Okay, so I'll be expecting that to happen, either of those two places. I will mark this only to give myself that kind of picture, but I'm really not that going to concentrate on it, because with this kind of exchanging weeks, I feel the buy to sell, I feel that we mitigated it somehow. So yeah, so I'll be expecting also price to at least bounce off either this or this supply, and then continue to the downside. So that is what I'll be expecting. 15 minutes. I don't have much to say from this one, but I'll only mark my structures like always. So I'll take this off and then bring it down. I don't think now this way gets a bit tricky, because now we don't know where to place our lows. Can't take this one, seems a little bit deeper. This one is not that deep, so it's not that deep. I will take the next one as this one, but now it has not been broken with a candle close below, so it's just a wick. So I'll just leave it at that, but if it does break this high, then I will move my low to there. So I'm still not sure, but coming in next week of the 7th to 11th April, I will see what will happen. Okay, so I think I'll leave it at that. If you go back to check on this pair from the higher time frames, you will get my perspective, but for now I don't have any ideas to share on this one, although we do have the change of character right there, and we've also had the return, then the break to the upside, then return, then another break, yes, but with a wick, but we've had a slight return. Yeah, so maybe we could be expecting with this uptrend to the upside. So that will be all for now. Let's finish up with the USD CHF and call it a week. So this is the trickiest pair. I was about to say player. Trickiest pair. Yes, pair. And yeah, so many things happened here. So much drama on this pair, but this pair I was actually close into losing my account because of this pair, because this range right here, this range taught me a lot of lessons. And from now onwards, please don't even convince me to trade in ranges, because wow, ranges are horrific, very horrific. Anywho, so breakout structure, playing around this high and this low. Price has also been ranging. I mean, when was this? Friday day 2023, sorry, Thursday 28th of 2023. Up to now, these guys are just ranging in between here. I mean, what are you doing, guys? Can you just move out of there? Anywho, so it was still a very sublime kind of order flow, because if you check very clearly from here, after the change of character, price pulled back to the extreme, okay, very obediently came down, price pulled back to this extreme again. Now price didn't come to this one and this one, but it came to this one and this one, and now we're expecting it now to come to there. So with the Trump news, I think all our anticipation was just off the roof, and we were expecting price to continue to the upside, but Trump being Trump, he did the wonders. Anywho, so price came down, mitigated this demand right here, and yeah, I think nothing much can be explained from there, but just like the yen pairs, I'm expecting this pullback to this point right there, and then continue to the downside. Yeah, so unless I have or I see this change of character on the daily to the upside, then I don't have anything to say from there. 4 hour, let's see, 4 hour. So 4 hour also is a little bit dramatic, very huge or long range. And as you can see, we had this change of character right here, and then price pulled back and also took liquidity, then another change of character, had the return, though not to the extreme demand right here, and then pushed to the upside. So it is this push to the upside that broke these highs, okay, these highs, okay, that broke those highs, and we knew that we had taken out liquidity and, you know, ready, geared up to go to the upside. But no, that is not what happened. So also with this one, I won't want to talk much about it. I'll just leave it at that point, that we could be facing some upward moves now to the upside. And so I think yeah, this was the last low that we see. Now price looks like has taken it out and caused a change of character. So let me just extend it to here and wait for the candle close before we look at any opportunities. And speaking of opportunities, if that change of character does happen to the upside with the candle close and everything, then the return, are they expecting it to come to here, this demand, and then continue to the upside, because all this now was a void, and that void, what do we expect? We expect for it to be filled. So for now, I think I'll take this whole range from here to here and expect price to come there, you know, just like the arrow shown, come there and then continue to the downside. So just to explain maybe a little bit of some few trends that got me out a couple of times. It was really frustrating, really frustrating. So yeah, I start off from here. You can see very well we had a breakout structure, okay, right there. So I was playing between this high and this low. And yeah, after the change of character here, we can see the price came up and mitigated this supply just like usual. And from there also another change of character right there, and then price returned, or rather mitigated, pull back to that point, and then continue to downside. So for this case, I want to explain something. For this case, I was around, okay, this point I was around. So when price was doing a lot of wicks around here, I was like, should I take it, should I not? And I happened to hesitate, and didn't pull the trigger, and so I left it at that point. So when it came down and it was showing me that it was coming back up, that's when I took a trade around here. And I think this was, yeah, this was a no, this one, yes, this now was when I expected that when price, let me try and draw that through, when price will come here, I took the trade, okay, so I was running in profit all the way down to here, and my profit, my stop loss was just at the right place, though not that much high. And so I was expecting that this move would get us back to here, okay, this demand, and then continue to the upside. So I didn't take any partials. I didn't even trade my stop loss to break even. So price came, took me out, and then okay, I think let me just do this. Yeah, so came down here. I was now very confident and I left the trade to run, but price came, took me out, and then the rest is history, as according to what you're seeing right now. So yeah, so I also took this one. After this change of character, I noticed that price danced around here, okay, so I was playing in between profits and losses, okay, but later on I realized that I had this supply that had not been mitigated, so I pushed my stop loss to there, and as you can see now, price came and took me out to the next high. Okay, so trading in the ranges can be a little bit very tricky. Okay, so imagine now, after taking me out like that, guys just came and played out my trade. That was really frustrating. It was really frustrating. I can't even explain how I felt at that time. Still had my retaliation trade right there. I think this is the next day. Yeah, Wednesday, this was Friday, this was the day after the other trade. Change of character, this was a very typical one. Okay, so let me just try and talk that through. Yeah, so let me try and do this. Okay, so yeah, so when it came down, okay, range around there, I think I wasn't around all this time, so I left the trade going on. So I want you to notice something. There was this low and then there was this pullback, okay, then price went down. Okay, so after it ranged around here, as you can see, this was a triangle, okay, right there. This was a triangle, sorry, okay, this was a triangle right here, and yes, I was expecting price to come down. So when price now came down, caused a change of character right there, it pulled back to this supply, okay, danced around again, then went lower, came up, okay, this was a pullback, and then went down. So in this pullback now that I just drawn, the last one is what I noticed, that there was this supply, okay, that price would come to and then push price lower. So that's when I took that trade, and as much as it played around a little bit, it came in, took my TP, okay, hit my TP, sorry. So that was a 2.3, which was not bad. Yeah, and I think after that we went all the way to another loss. Okay, I think that's okay. So after this change of character, up above here, you can see very clearly price broke through, left this flip zone, okay, and with this candle came back up right there, as you can see. okay, then continue to the downside. So I hesitated also on that one. After facing a little bit of some losses, then you get a little bit frustrated. So yeah, price still came down, caused a change of character right here, did the return but not to the extreme. So it was price was kind of on limbo, so I didn't want to get involved. So yeah, range a little bit, then shoot to the downside. Then after he shot the downside, I thought that now I could take this trade from here after mitigating this demand, take the trade from there, and then anticipate for it to come down. But as you can see, price continued ranging, and taking all the sellers out of the game and taking the money also. So now when price now came around here, I was now very much confident that we would hit, or rather take out this high and then continue to the upside. But the big guys had to cause this change of character and the return, which I hesitated again. I didn't take that trade, so I let it flow. Actually, I had a buy stop here which was tagged, and I was expecting price to continue to the upside just to take out all those guys, those highs on the left side, but that didn't happen. So eventually I got taken out. I deleted that trade because it was so much traumatic. So I just left it at that, and yeah, price went to the downside. So I think from the 4-hour time frame perspective, I can only say that is what I'll be expecting for it to happen. For now, let's just mark our structures and POIs. So we have that low, we have this high that we can take off, and then I'll put it up to this low, okay, which had a break of structure. And then as you can see, I told you the 4-hour change of character is a break of structure in the lower time frame. And then now we are playing between this low and this high. Okay, so that is what I'll be looking to check out on this pair coming in next week. So I have another change of character, 15-minute right here with the candle close above with the benefit of hindsight, and then 15-minute chop. Okay, yeah, and now try and follow price. Have this one that was mitigated, change it to 15. Then you had this one which was slightly mitigated but not really convincing, so I'll just extend it to that point. And also this one now that had not been mitigated, now we're confident that price could come there. And yeah, this one also mitigated but slightly, so I'll just leave it at there. And also when price came down like that and then we went up, now price where it has come below this low, so we can call that a bearish change of character. So up until there is what I have. So like I said, I don't trade on Minders, so I just leave it at that and go back to the video of USD CHF and see on the higher time frame perspective, so that you can get the big picture and know how to tackle the smaller time frames or the lower time frames. So I don't have much for now. I just want to leave it at that. And yeah, I just want to say that I'm really grateful once again for those that have been following me and subscribing and everything. And yeah, I hope that maybe one day you'll get to be part of my group, which is in the Telegram. I'll put the link in the description box below, so that you can join for free and see what you can exchange, some few ideas, and see what you can do so that you can get this money together. So for now, I'll just leave it at that. You guys have a nice weekend and a week ahead, and God bless you.